Da boo doo da boo day da boo da. Hello, hello. That's how we return. Okay, hello. Excuse me. I brought a drink. Hello, everybody. Hopefully everything is working correctly or correct enough. Let me put on some music. Baza! Okay, alright, so there's music, there's me. Hello, welcome to the stream, everybody. I think this one will be a little bit different. Maybe a lot of bit different than our usual streams because we are sort of coming in an in-between time, in between projects. We just wrapped up on Roro, and I think we're very grateful for everybody watching, and we're very excited to, in 6 months, make another one. So in between that time, there's a lot of like, what do we do besides just keep drawing. So anyways, yeah, today I'm coming on just very quickly to say hello if anybody's here, to maybe do a little bit of drawing on stream, and to kind of just talk through some thoughts about what we've been making and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, again, hopefully all the technical issues are fixed. I'm not seeing any weird notifications on the YouTube side, and I did make, I want to say, about 12 recordings just trying to get the audio to work. But anyways, that aside, hello. Yeah, we made Roro, and we're very proud of it and very happy with it. Actually, one of the first things I wanted to show was this little biz dev sort of journey we went through with Roro. This scene here is the first shot, and at least at the beginning, a long time ago, we're still trying to figure out what the style is. I had this notion that maybe, oh, hello Alejandro, welcome, thank you, I'm glad you liked it. At the beginning, like, we had this idea that maybe Roro would be like in a world where everything was a black sky. So this is like the first background we ever actually made for Roro. I think there was one more before this, but I couldn't find it on my computer. If I do find that, maybe I'll put it up. So it went from this place to this place. This is like a second iteration of the background, where it's still very like line focused in terms of like these little marks here. There's a lot of scratchy etching, and I was like, maybe that's not the style we want to go with either, because, you know, I don't know, you just do something and you experiment and you're maybe not so sure about it. Then the next pass we took was a little more like this. This one's obviously much less finished. But it's more like earthy, a little more semi-realistic with the sky color and stuff like that, before we finally went to, what you guys see today. This is the first shot. So we've made everything in square, even though it is like a horizontal, regular sort of wide video. But we tried to make all the backgrounds in square so that if we needed to, and we will have to do this eventually when we reformat it for vertical, so that we can publish it as shorts, that we're not like having to create new backgrounds all the time. So we typically work like this, where we have square backgrounds that hopefully cover everything. But yeah, I just wanted to take everybody through like a quick little like viz dev pass. I would be the first to tell everybody that I am not like a very amazing artist by any means. Definitely not when it comes to like finished imagery. Like, I don't make paintings or like just finished pieces that I would put in a gallery or even publish as a single image on Instagram, which is probably why I decided that I would do mostly animation, because I could feel that like you didn't have to make it as good in a way, where you're just like, oh, if I can make them move reasonably well, then I don't have to make the individual drawings themselves be as like standout and whatnot. So yeah, but even then, even if I don't feel like the best artist when it comes to like making an individual painting or making a very beautiful drawing, if you're gonna make a film, you still have to go through like a biz dev process of like, what's this film ultimately gonna look like. And I think I have a tendency of when I feel not very confident with something that I will push it until the very end. So I had most of Roro, most of the whole thing entirely animated before we actually kind of knuckled down and it's like, all right, we actually have to make backgrounds. We have to actually make this look like something. And then we did like the biz dev and stuff. So that's probably a backward process for lots of different professional, semi-professional films, but there's always things that you can tweak and learn from it. But this was our approach. I think for the next one, we will try to do it a little bit differently. Hopefully everything is working, the music and the mics, and it's not like peaking too much or anything. Let me bring the overall thing down because I think I see some red there. Yeah, no red. But anyways, yeah, welcome to the stream. I'm not sure how often we can stream. I think we are very fortunate to be able to, me and Megs, both be working at the same time. So like, I'm gone during the day, and then on weekends I do want to be able to zone out a little bit, but I'll try to make a stream every so often where we'll animate and go through art and do that sort of thing. So yeah, thanks for hopping on. I didn't have, I'm trying to think of like other art that I had that I wanted to show from the process. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, also let me know. This is a pretty casual stream. I think eventually I would like to be able to. The audio seems to be glitching when we show the animation. B-ball, B-ball. Well, hopefully thanks for letting me know. Normally we would have like some kind of a notification on the YouTube side of things, and we have not been getting that, fortunately. But I think I'm just gonna try to power through and do the best that I can with what we got here. But thank you, Andro, for letting me know. What was I gonna say? I will. What I can do is I can also open up a little scene. This is a pretty good scene to start with. It's just an old file. Let me go to animation. Okay, I'm in a window. Let's hide this. This is an old file. Yeah, this is basically how our animation is done in a lot of ways. It's a very simple file setup. We import backgrounds, and then we go for a scene like this. It's a very simple scene. We have our guy running through. I don't even know if I went through much of a rough process with this. Let me put this top layer is all like finished stuff. Finish. And then I can show, I guess, the rough stuff. And this is the old rough stuff. So at one point, Roro was supposed to like just run from side to side. He's like running off screen from left to right, and it's just a very flat, like parallel, classic kind of cartoon thing. But then we decided midway through. We decided midway through that like instead of having him just like run off screen like this, we wanted to make it a little bit more dynamic, and so that's why we had him run off screen like this way instead. Oh yes, at some point there was supposed to be a little drip in this faucet, but I found that to be distracting. Typically what we do is like we'll animate the characters first, of course, and then I'll try to find like fun little extra things to add, and for this one, it was actually a bit of a challenge because I found that because there's a lot of stuff happening in frame, which is good because you want the main action of the scene to be centered around your characters. It was a bit hard to find room to do extra little fun things like add extra monsters and stuff like that without it being too distracting. I mean, even this little water drop here felt like very distracting. So that's just something that we're always looking to do as we go on and make animation and stuff like that. Let me see. I wanted to talk about the next project that we're going to work on, and to do that, I need to get my notebook. So I will be right back in about like a minute if I can find it. In a minute. Hold on, 1 second. Let me pause this. Let me go to this. Haha, silly me. Silly me. I didn't have to go finding my notebook because I already found it right here on my desk. Okay, so yeah, like as I was saying earlier, let me lower the volume on the music. It's feeling a little intense. Okay, yeah, what we would normally do is try to animate some stuff on stream, and to animate our projects essentially as much as we can. Well, which ends up being not that much, but at least do some of it on stream so that we can show the process and all that. And we would eventually get to that again at some point too. But for now, like I said, we just finished a thing. It's good to take some time to, relax, gather the brain a little bit, maybe play some Call of Duty. I don't know if anyone plays plays Call of Duty or Battlefield, but join our Discord and maybe I'll end up actually playing a video game with some folks who in our community. I'm typically a very solo gamer, but I don't know. I'm very bad at both games also, but if anyone is interested in doing that, join the Discord and let me know so that we can play. But anyways, when we eventually get to animating our next film on stream, I'll open up like Adobe Animate files and stuff like that, and then I'll just be animating and hanging out. But right now we are in this sort of phase. Okay, we're in a very thumbnail-y phase. So what I've been doing, this is for like the next one, and this I'm sorry, this is so like guerrilla and janky, but this is how I tried to like organize my thoughts a little bit in terms of the next film. And I don't know what you could see there, but it's just basically a shot list of what's gonna happen and blah blah blah, and how many shots are in each section. And I think from these little chicken scratch nonsense thumbnails, we'll eventually build out, or I'll try to build out a very like basic storyboard, beatboard animatic. And let me show actually a little bit what that might look like. So let me go back to the animation screen. Let me go back to Adobe Animate. Where are you, Animate? Yeah, let me go back to Animate. Okay. Let's create a new file. Okay, so what that might eventually look like is I will go into Animate, because we use storyboard in Animate. Let me change the background color so it's not a blinding white. Okay, and then I will just board out some very quick beat boards. So let's just say let's just say the next story is about Roro. He's walking through the world as he does, and then, whoa, what does he do? He sees, this is not the next story, but I just want to very, very quickly demonstrate like what we might do. He sees, looks up, like he's walking through the forest or walking through the land. Oh, but then something catches his attention, and then we reveal it's let's just say, again, this is not the story. I want to reiterate, this is not the story that we will eventually be making. But just for fun's sake, I'm doing this off the cuff right now. Let's actually make this a bit smaller. Say he meets another creature. A big nose bird. And then I'm not layering this right now, but I would typically add more layers so that we could actually do some different stuff. And we'll do this. The nose bird winds up, and then does a big sneeze. And then Roro can be like, oh my gosh. And then let's do a little recovery frame. This is not really like on character for either for Roro either. This is just whatever's coming to the brain right now. I don't think I'm going to storyboard on stream because storyboarding I need to actually be in a sort of quiet environment so that I can think and make decisions and stuff like that. But eventually this is what we'll be doing, is just like, okay, we're gonna board it out. So you see a nose bird, and then there you go. Very simple, basic, dumb story. What inspired you to make Roro? Is it based on something? Thanks for the question, Alejandro. It is not based on anything in particular. I think sometimes when we make cartoons, let me pull up the big camera for this. Sometimes when we make cartoons, the inspiration the inspiration comes from needing to make a cartoon. I can definitely say, I don't know if you've seen the short Doe for the Dodo, or its sequel short in color, Porky Goes to Wacky Land, or Porky in Wacky Land. There are definitely some influences of that short in this, but it's not. It's just kind of like, it's not even like a starting point. It's more like when we're making some stuff, and the desire is to make something. I would say Roro actually started, and I can go back to the notebook, as a drawing. This is some like Pixar Disney nonsense here, where they're like, oh, it was on this sacred napkin that Wally got his start. But it's not like that. It's just a drawing on a napkin, and I like the drawing, so I was like, oh yeah, maybe we'll make a character around this. So let me find it. I know I have it in this notebook somewhere. This is probably pretty early to go. Let me find the first drawings of Roro. I gotta go back quite a ways, actually. Back further than I remember. Oh yes, so here I can show you guys. This page, this little pink page right here, was the first time I drew Roro. And at some point I'll probably like take a picture of this and scan it in, and actually put it in our, like, on our Discord, in our community parts, so that I can show a little bit of what the process is like. But as you can see, there were like a couple different like creature iterations. There's some kind of a, hold on, this is reversed, so it's like messing me up. There's some kind of like a walrus creature. Roro used to have like an angry little mouth thing. There were like, there's like this weird vertical bird. This one over here with like a weird little owl beak mouth type of thing going on. Sorry, I'm bumping into the mic, I apologize. But yeah, Roro started as just like a silly drawing. I don't really do that too often, like just sit around and troll for ideas or anything like that. But this one day, because we're always thinking about trying to make the next thing, we were just drawing, and I drew some stuff that we liked, and then it kind of just goes from there. You know, you have something that you like. What I liked about Roro was his very dumb, kind of simple chicken leg design with his two big thick legs and his weird look. And then whatever fills into that is just like your influences, what you're thinking of at the same time. It all just kind of comes through, and then eventually you cobble some sort of story out of it. And yeah, that's what that process is like. So yeah, eventually we would do something on stream, not like this, but you know, we'll actually animate the scenes. But for now, after I list those thumbnails out, I think I'm gonna try to go through a script process also, so that I can finalize some writing, and then I want to myself make a very quick and silly animatic so that I can share it with Megan, and she can give me some thoughts and some guidance. and then we'll figure out if we need to change this character or change that other character. This next story is going to be a little bit more involved than this first one, so there's a little bit more to figure out. But yeah, we'll be eventually back on stream, probably like whenever we can, probably while we're both working, like on Saturdays. I'll try to show up and like do some animation with folks, or at least like animate through what we're doing. And yeah, that's what that's gonna be. So, let me see. Let me make another new document. Again, make it not blaringly white. Let's go here. And yeah, so I wanted to talk a little bit about, sorry, this is very off the cuff, so I have like very general thoughts. I don't have a bullet point list. I just wanted to share the backgrounds and share some like behind the scenes little like drawing things that we did, parts of the process, but I don't have like an itemized, this is how it's gonna go type of deal. But let me ask if anybody wants me to draw something so that I can draw something while talking through this next portion of what we wanted to talk about. Let me go back to animation. All right, I'm gonna start by drawing a mutant. I love drawing little monsters, so let's draw a mutant. And then if anyone else has a prompt, just let me know and I will switch off to drawing something else. But yeah, like, I think we've been doing this channel for about 3 years, I think. 3 years-ish, almost. Let's give them a different kind of nose. And it's been a lot of fun. I think it's one of the main reasons, is the main reason that I have my current job, where I'm animating for a show. I don't know if I can say what show exactly, or if I can publicly announce that I'm animating for it, but anyways, it's a show. It's very nice, and I'm very happy to be able to be doing this. But yeah, that came along because of this channel, because of the work that we've been doing here, just making our own stuff. And the main thing about animation, if anybody has tried making animation before, is that, especially this kind that we do, is that it takes a really freaking long time. And so, as lovely as it is to see comments on the video, in which, for everybody who liked and commented and hyped our video, thank you so much. That's like, we really appreciate it, and it's just very it's almost, I would say, saving. I was like, oh, people like what we make. That's so nice. But yeah, for everybody who's like, oh, when's the next one gonna be, or are you gonna make more of this? Yes, we would really like to make more, and unfortunately, it's going to take probably around 6 months at least, maybe sooner than that, depending. But it's gonna take about 6 months to make another short, if not longer. And that's just for people who are making stuff on YouTube. That could be a little tough. YouTube is a classic, capitalist instrument, and it demands to be fed so that it can produce engagement for advertisers. That's like the whole model of what YouTube is and what it's becoming. So it's hard to say. Like a traditional 2D animation pipeline that we're doing, where we can make one large thing maybe once every 6 months if we're really pushing it. And this one we had to really push to try to finish. Sorry, I don't know if this monster is exactly the thing I want to be drawing while talking about this. But again, if anyone has a different drawing prompt, let me know, and I will gladly switch to drawing something else. But yeah, it's like, if that's the production pipeline, that is not YouTube friendly. So I think, something that we've talked about doing for our channel is adding, just like shorter content to do. Probably something like more shorts about me and Megs, just like kind of daily life stuff. We might add like a couple of those to have to share from time to time. I would personally mostly like to make more like long shorts, but the thing is that it just takes too long, and so like to sort of buffer the time when we're not publishing anything big, we would have to, I think we ought to make some shorter stuff. So you can look forward to, well, Alejandro, draw a chubby Pikmin. I can do that. Let me finish this little mutant devil creature thing. Let's give him little bat wings. Why not? Yeah, I think he just turned into like a little devil, which is fine. Megan says I draw freaky sometimes, and I don't think so. I think this guy's kind of cute, but perhaps I do actually draw a little freaky. One of our friends, I told him that we finished a short, and he's like, yeah, maybe I'll wait to show my 4-year-old daughter this short until a later time. So maybe my style is a little freakier than I thought. Okay, so Alejandro, I will draw a chubby Pikmin. I actually need, no, I don't need reference. I know what this Pikmin looks like. I've drawn him before. So yeah, like, I think we want to make more Roro, and we want to make more other stuff. It is just a matter of resource and time. So, like, I think as best as we can do, we will do. And I think what that means in terms of our release schedule and what we can actually share on YouTube is, like, probably a few more shorts, because the shorts about us and our lives, like when it's just me and Megs on like a yellow background hanging out doing stuff, those are fairly simple and quick to make. So I think we might try to make a couple more of those. We'll try to make some shorter Roro content that's more like centered around a random character, like for example Cheese. We have one that's basically done. I just need to draw backgrounds and color it, and then Megs needs to sound design it. So what we will do, we'll try to do like some short interstitial content, video and shorts about extra random characters who are all an important part of the world. We'll do those when we can. For the most part though, if you like the channel and care about the channel and like our work, which we greatly appreciate, the word of the day is patience. And we will try our best to make stuff as quickly and as well as we can. Also, that's a big part of it, is that, like, you know, we could always try to focus on making more stuff, but whatever we make, I want to make it well so that people will like it. That's like a big part of what we're trying to do, is just trying to make good stuff that we like and that other folks like. So yeah, let me see if there's anything else I wanted to make or anything else I wanted to comment on. First, let's get a little sip of water. Thank you, Alejandro. I'll take that to the bank and try not to worry. Let's see, I think the other kind of stuff that we wanted to do, I think Megan's been asking me to make, I don't know if it's necessarily like a script or something else. Does anyone else have anything else that they want me to draw while I get out this sort of last thought point? She's been asking me to make something regarding this one time in life where I took a trip, a very long walking trip or what was supposed to be a very long walking trip from LA to San Francisco. I don't know if anyone else has done something like that, where you just get it in your bones that you need to go on an adventure. I don't know if I phrased it that way in my own head, but at some point I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try to walk from where I am, Los Angeles, to where I want to go, San Francisco, and I want to do it up the PCH because that sounds cool. I was definitely inspired by a friend from school who walked from San Diego, either from San Diego to LA or from LA to San Diego. I forget which way exactly it was. You know, I was like, oh, that's some cool art thing to do. And I like a sort of long endurance type of thing, even though my body is not built for any sort of real athleticism. It sounded cool. And I did that, and I had a great experience. Really injured my knee, and I think I'm still paying for it, unfortunately. But Megan was like, you should do something about that. You should share that story in some way, and we can do stuff like that. So something like that might also be in the works of, like, ooh, maybe another sort of thing where we talk through some stuff and share some more personal stories. But I think, like, in the rush to make all this stuff and the feeling like oh, I have to keep up with the algorithm, I have to keep up with some sort of weird demand that I've placed on myself, because you know, folks I think mostly are like Alejandro, being like, don't worry, do the best that you can, and you know, try not to rush things and all that sort of stuff. And any sort of pressure that is felt is pressure that is felt like internally, to be like, oh, we gotta keep up with the schedule, even though we don't really have one. And I think, like, you know, we just gotta try to do our best. And sometimes that'll mean like we're putting out vertical forms of the short that we just made, so that we can put it on shorts, so that we can be like, hey YouTube, here's an offering, take it. And sometimes it'll be like, you know, random shorts in the Roro world, sometimes it'll be random shorts in another world. But let me tell you, I guess what I really want to make clear is that we are trying to make longer things that have like more of a lore and have more of a world and a story. And we're working on it, and we're trying to make cool stuff for everybody. I mean, my favorite things growing up were like Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy, that kind of stuff. Games, and unfortunately I don't know how to program games or make games or anything like that. Otherwise I'd probably be doing that with my free time. But it would be really nice to create that sense of like a world where you can go watch a short, or go maybe eventually play a game, because I am working on a sort of game that you can go and play it and have fun and really feel like that sort of lost feeling that I remember having as a kid, where like, ooh, I'm just in a different world. I'm not in Albuquerque, New Mexico, in these student apartments. I am off somewhere, like imagining being a hero or being someone in a different world. So yeah, and I think the only way to do that really is like to make longer form content. Even something like Skibbity Toilet. I don't know if you guys know the legends and the contents of the great Skibbity, but even that, which I think most people would say, you know, affectionately or otherwise, oh, that's just some like brain rot TikTok, YouTube short, like swipe it and you're done, kind of what the heck is this sort of stuff. Skibbity is actually it's what do I want to say about Skibbity Toilet? It's a lot longer than you think it is, because it has so many episodes, and each of those episodes are about at least a minute long. So it creates a world, and it creates a place that things are strange and all that. And I'm not saying this to say that Skibbity is an inspiration, or like that we're trying to make something like that. It's just to illustrate that, like, you know, that feeling of being able to get lost in a world somewhere is sort of like a layered process of doing something for a long period of time. So yeah, we're gonna try to keep making stuff. We're gonna keep going at it. We will try to stream, hopefully like on every Saturday or every odd Saturday when we can. I'll try to not like hold myself to a specific schedule, which isn't, you know, it's not good for folks on the channel. If you guys want to see us, it's like there's not like a specific set schedule we're keeping up. I just found that like when I had to do that, I got really tired and I don't want to say burnt out, because I feel like that word is overused, but it did create a sense of like, ooh, I have to manage this in addition to all the other things I have to manage. So I will just say very sincerely, I would like to stream more, and I just have to find the time and the energy to do so. And we'll try our best to do that. So probably Saturdays we'll try to come in and do a little animation and show like what the process is, and like, you know, make the next short together, essentially. That's kind of the nice feeling. Like, we really do appreciate the comments of those who have like watched our streams and like have, you know, had like a good time seeing how the soup is boiled, I don't want to use the sausage metaphor, so I'm trying to come up with other stuff. How the syrup is dripped, how the chair is assembled, you know, like, and we want to be able to do streams to share like what that process is like, and to share that time with folks who care about the channel and like our stuff. So yeah, well, I will try to return to streams to do a bit more of that stuff when I can. Otherwise, yeah, like I think that's basically the main points of what I wanted to share today. Anybody have any other thing that you want me to draw, or have any other questions before we wrap this up? Today's stream is a little strange because normally I'd just be animating on the next thing, but we're still working on like the big part of the story process for that. So I have to we have to more be in our notebooks and be like talking over coffee, or like talking while we're driving, or that's more of what this process is right now. But eventually it'll be back on the stream, back on Adobe Animate drawing stuff. A janitor gorilla, and another excellent prompt. I want to draw a happy janitor gorilla. I think if I could be a janitor and it gave me health insurance and enough financial stability that I could just be a janitor for, I don't know, 30, 40 hours a week and then go home and make stuff with Megs, I would very happily be doing that. So in the spirit of hoping such a stable and productive future exists for both me and Megs, I'm going to draw a very happy gorilla janitor. Who knows if that's what's going to happen. We've had friends who, because animation is in kind of like a tough state right now, haven't been able to find like a show to land on and have to work like other, I don't want to say like normal, because who knows what that means, but to work like a retail job or something like that. We've had some friends, go into retail, and it's a very hard job. Like being on your feet all day, interacting with strangers, interacting with coworkers, not having any privacy because you have to, constantly move from one thing to the next. It can be really draining. And I think like as much as you would like to be able to make stuff afterwards or after work, like, okay, I did my work thing, I did my 9 to 5, and now I can concentrate on art. The truth is that like you're oftentimes so like tired and burnt out that it's hard to find the energy to do that. Or it's like, oh, if you dedicate the energy to do that, well, then you don't have energy to, hang out with your friends. And having friends and having a social life is like a big part of just being a person. So like, I'm making him a plumber for some reason. I just wanted him to be really happy doing something that I think most folks, including myself, find a little distasteful. I'm not sure why I gave him an apron. Or a Dodgers hat. We're just having fun. We're just having fun drawing some stuff. But yeah, like I think like having the opportunity and the privilege and the time to be able to make stuff is just it's very precious and very important, and I'm grateful that we're in the position to be able to make shorts and make things that hopefully people like. And that's why like I think the concentration isn't on making volume, but trying to make some good stuff, so that like the time that we spent is spent making like the best things that we can make, so that it makes people happy, and basically that. Ding, Dino Dog, greetings and salutations. Welcome, Dino Dog. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for hopping on. I think I went over most of my talking points of what I had earlier in the stream, so I don't really know what's left to discuss. But I will take a drawing prompt, Dino Dog. If you want me to draw something, let me know. This is how I draw. This is how I draw. I draw like this, and then I don't really paint. I only paint if I'm like making a sort of film, because color is very challenging to me, and it's not very natural, and it demands me to use more energy than I have for the most part. But yeah, if you want me to draw something, let me know, or if you have a question for me, let me know. And that goes to anybody in the stream. Thanks everyone for coming in and tuning in and listening to me blab for the past couple minutes, maybe an hour. This is the most talking I do basically in an entire week. Usually I'm actually very quiet. I just I just sit around and be quiet. But it's nice to be able to talk with folks on stream. Hold on. Gotta get some water. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, hold on. Whew. Hopefully not getting sick. Hopefully just, regular throat noises. Okay, let me think. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? You know what? I'm gonna draw a dino dog just because that comes to mind. This is a weird animal, but I'm gonna do it. All right. Yeah, let me think if there's anything else I wanna really talk about right now. Boo-boo. There we go. That's kind of a dino dog for you. Sick dino dog. I'm sick. Oh no. Well, Alejandro, I hope you feel better. Usually when we're not feeling very well, or we're feeling a little sick, we try to have some soup. So have some soup. And the other thing my mom used to tell me when I was sick was, if you're feeling sick, actually go run or go try to sweat it out. So we used to do this thing where she would just cover us in blankets and try to get us essentially to sweat it out. Like I said, I don't know if it works or anything, but there's a little bit of ancient Chinese medicine for you, because that's how that worked. Ooh, let's give him a little harness, because we're just having fun right here. And I'm putting the Ice King on him for some reason. I don't know why. Hold on, I've drawn Ice King before. Come on, I can do this. There we go. There's Ice King on a dino dog for you. It's funny that you're drawing this because dino dog is the name of the guy in my PFP. I forget what PFP stands for. What does PFP stand for? I'm gonna look that up. I am with the times, baby. I know what PFP means profile picture. Okay, yeah. All right, cool. Well, there you go, dino dog. Here is another dino dog for you. There you go. Okay, yes, profile picture. Thank you. So yeah, let me see. Is there anything else I wanted to cover or talk about? Not really. Maybe for the next stream, I will have a more sort of bullet pointsy type of thing to go through. But yeah, I think that's essentially it. I will do like a little bit of a wrap up. Today, I talked about the VizDev art style, change and growth of the animation process of Roro. A sick plant doing sick tricks on a skateboard. Is that your request, Dino Dog? Because I can do that. Hold on. Let me do that first, and then I'll do the recap. All right, a sick plant doing sick tricks on a skateboard. Well, when I think of plant, I usually think of it's a little gauche to open the mouth, so we'll just have him stick the tongue out because that's the kind of sick plant he is. Let's give him a cup of coffee because sick plants drink coffee. They drink black coffee because they're cool like that. And let's give him a little pot because he's still a plant. There we go. Kazow. Ka-chow. Alright. Something like this. Let's have him doing a little ollie over another dog. This dog is mad impressed. He's like, whoa, dude. How did you manage that? Let's just make his smile a little bit clearer. There you go. Yes, pretty slick. All right, cool. So yeah, I think, yeah, let me do a quick recap of what we talked about today, and then that will be the stream. Thanks everybody for coming on. Yeah, I like streaming. Streaming is nice. Okay, so yeah, what we did today, I talked a little bit about the art process, the viz dev process of making Roro, how we went from this being one of the first drawings and one of the first sort of background styles. I think Roro was always going to look like that little purple bird, but he sort of lived in a very different world. For some reason, I really wanted to do like a black night sky for everything, but I found that that just makes everything feel very samey. And because stories do need to go somewhere, like having a color design and a color transition from different scenes and different moods is very important. So we abandoned, excuse me, what's going on? I'm being such an old, well, I'm just being a little scratchy. Hold on. Thank you so much. Hopefully I can tune into that one. Yay, thanks Alejandro. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out and chatting. It's very nice. That's what I like about streaming. Okay, yeah, so it went from this to the next version of it was this, to the version after this was this, and then to the final version was this. So yeah, it's just like a little bit of visual design development process. That's typically, actually I wouldn't say it's typical, because in this short we tried to make a different world and a different vibe to what we were doing before. So yeah, it takes some doing. Let's see. Then we did like a little demo of what we were gonna do. Let me share that. That looked like this, where we're not gonna storyboard on stream, but I'll eventually put together a little storyboard of the next short, the next episode of Roro. It's not this story. I just want to reiterate, it's not Roro meeting a nose bird and getting sneezed on. But we'll do that eventually at some point, and then we'll come back on stream and animate stuff. I also shared, the other thing I shared was, ooh, it's dark now. It gets so dark now. This sort of early look at the next part of the process, where I am organizing thoughts, writing down shot lists for the next short. This first section looks like it's about 25 shots, which is, it could be briefer, but you know, I'm just trying to get it out right now. And I also shared, these are like the first sketches of Roro that ever existed. I think Alejandro asked us earlier, like, what inspired us to make Roro, and I will say, for me personally, I just started drawing some stuff, and I liked how this silly little bird looked, and then we made a story about him. And yeah, that's it. That's basically it. So we'll be making more stuff. Thanks everybody for your patience. Thanks everybody for being a part of the channel and the community. We do have a Discord. I try to chat there. I'm not the most like typey online chatter person, but if you're on the Discord, and particularly if you share art, I'm usually like, ooh, cool, people sharing art, and that's nice. Like your own personal art, and it's really cool to see. So we have that Discord. We're here. We'll be trying to make stuff, probably some shorter stuff, and then in about 6 months, you'll see another probably longer Roro short, which will have hopefully more fight scenes, because I feel like what's cool, adding a fight scene. So maybe the next one will have that. We'll see. Yeah, that's it. If anybody has any other questions, quest now, or we'll see you next week to do some more drawing and some more animation. So yeah, I think that's it. Thanks everybody. Appreciate everybody being on. Thanks to Alejandro and to Dino Dog for saying hello and chatting. Hopefully this stream was relatively technically okay, like technical problems free, because it took a long time for us to try to figure this out. Shout out to Megs. She's our resident IT person. She knows the pewters much better and with much more patience and grace than I do. Yeah, hopefully this microphone worked and the sound worked and everything is fine. My walls seem very white. I feel like we should change that at some point. Yeah. Thanks everybody. We'll catch you next week, next time, you know, making more stuff as always. All right. Yeah, that's it. Thank you everybody. Bye-bye. Till next time. Bye.